So our power supply portfolio, this is a map. The creation of a portfolio, of a power supply portfolio, is kind of an art and a science. And there's a lot of things that go into the decisions that we make. There are economic decisions that go into it. There are policy decisions that go into it. There are risks that you take when you're creating a portfolio. It's just like creating a portfolio in your 401k or in your investment account. Okay, you don't want to be too overexposed to one type of resource. You don't want to have too many things in one sector. Okay, we want to be diverse. And we're diverse by resource and we're diverse geographically. And those are two very powerful things. You can see the wind that we have, the large green dots out in North Dakota and southern Minnesota, those are producing a lot of energy for us. Those are great areas of energy production for wind. Our natural gas peaking facilities are in southern Minnesota and in eastern Minnesota. Those are dual fuel capable assets. You can see that the bubble color is purple and blue, which indicates that those units are capable of burning fuel oil as well as natural gas. And that dual fuel capability is extraordinarily important to us during times of reliability need. Okay, if we can't get natural gas, or if natural gas is incredibly expensive, those units can burn fuel oil instead and continue to serve the grid and its reliability needs. That's something that's really important because we've seen that happen in winter reliability events in the past. You know, you hear people talk a lot about California, battery storage, and a lot of things like that. Minnesota is very different. You know, we up here, we know that our reliability events that we're concerned about happen in the winter a lot of the time, right? There are 2-3 days in February where it's negative 30 degrees instead of 3 or 4 hours in LA when it's 105. So we have to think about multi-day reliability events. And the ability for our units to dispatch when they're needed and to run is valuable. We've transitioned away from fossil fuels, from coal, right? And we get a lot of questions as to why that is. And like I said at the beginning of this slide, there are a lot of reasons for the decisions that we make. We've done that primarily for economic reasons. The transition to wind has been one that's driven by the economics of those resources and the cost of the energy production. The pivot away from coal with the sale of Coal Creek Station and the retirement of Stanton Station in 2020 and 17 respectively, those were decisions that were again driven by the economics of those units. They weren't providing value to the membership in the way that they had been for the previous 20 or 30 years, and so we made a decision to move away from those. That decision is one that is, from our rate projections, going to contribute to ongoing rate stability towards the future.